Hello everyone and welcome back to Oba's Trending Gist. Today we are diving into a developing story that has sent shockwaves across Nigerian politics, particularly within the Obidient movement. This is a critical moment and we need to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a serious crisis brewing in the Obidient movement camp. So just yesterday, or rather today, Morris Monye, who served as the director of Mobilization, tendered his resignation from office. This isn't just a simple departure, it is a dramatic exit laden with very pointed criticism and a clear indication of deep-seated issues within the movement. Moyer's reasons for stepping down are quite stark. He cited a combination of poor coordination, a lack of progress on critical plans, the overwhelming performance in the recent Anambra State governorship election, and significantly, what he describes as personal funding fatigue. He stated clearly that almost a year down the line, most of our short-term, medium-term, and long-term plans have not been met. I won't be part of optics and no work. He also added that the poor showing at the Anambra election has also made my position untenable. Furthermore, he revealed that his businesses had been harassed by sympathizers and the instruments of this government, making his position a personal burden. Now, a brief analysis. Moyer's resignation is a significant blow. As a director of Mobilization, he was at the forefront of the grassroots efforts. His departure, especially with such candid reasons, exposes potential cracks in the Obidient movement structure and the operational effectiveness. It suggests a movement struggling with internal coherence and the resource management, despite the passionate support it garnered. Now, let's get into my critical take on this. Honestly, looking at how things are unfolding, and especially considering the recent Anambra election results, I am finding it incredibly difficult to see a pathway for Mr. Peter Obi to win the 2027 election. We are just 2 years away from another general election, and what we are witnessing is a party, or rather a movement that seems to be in absolute shambles. The Obidient movement, despite its initial fervor, is starting to look like a toothless bulldog lacking any significant grassroots presence where it truly counts. Moyer's resignation letter is incredibly revealing. He explicitly stated that he spent approximately 40 million naira of his own personal funds on Obidient events, mobilization, travel, funding committees, and evangelizing the movement across Nigeria. Let that sink in for a moment. 40 million naira of personal money. And what is even more striking, he clearly stated, no money was given to the Directorate of Mobilization. There's no bank account, even for the Directorate. In fact, Mr. Peter Obi has never asked what we are doing in Mobilization. Nothing. No communication. Nothing. He emphasizes that he doesn't expect repayment but this raises serious questions about funding and the commitment of the movement's leadership, including Peter Obi himself. Moyer's letters goes further highlighting a fundamental flaw. All the current directorates are using their personal funds, and it's simply not sustainable if we want to see results. Not a single kobo was, or rather is, assigned to any of them. Mr. Obi needs to show more interest in what the movement is doing. This isn't just about one director's personal sacrifice. It paints a picture of a movement relying almost entirely on the goodwill and personal pocket of its passionate members, which, as Moyer rightly points out, is completely unsustainable. He meticulously outlined his efforts, spearheading online registration, activating dormant support group, structuring the movement into regional bodies, contacting leaders, creating local government offices and structures, building a research team, and even setting up a Facebook page. Yet, despite all these initiatives, the core issue of poor coordination and unmet plans persisted. So, the poor showing at the Anambra election was the final straw, making his position untenable. Morris Monye also offered crucial advice for the future of the Obidient movement, essentially outlining a roadmap for how it should be run. He recommends engaging proper political operations, consultants to coordinate the polling unit structure, and a large media team, funded by Mr. Peter Obi himself. He stresses the need for people to be on salary, contract, and giving a budget, complete with weekly KPIs, and also do monthly performance review. His blunt assessment: you can't run a campaign simply from general goodwill. This is not 2023. The element of surprises is gone. Also, no one can be held accountable from general goodwill. They will work at their own leisure. After all, it's goodwill. This has to be a serious business for him. He identifies polling unit agents, mobilization and voters registration mobilization as the key task that is currently only at 10% completion. So, this is a stark warning if the movement continues to operate on general goodwill and personal funding without professional structure, clear budget and direct involvement and funding from Peter Obi. Then the dreams of 2027 are nothing more than a pipe dream. The foundation is crumbling, and without a solid funded and coordinated grassroots presence, it will be impossible to compete effectively. The enthusiasm is there, but enthusiasm alone doesn't win election. Strategic organizations and financial backings do. So, what does this all mean for the Obidient movement and Peter Obi's political aspiration? Morris Monye's resignation is more than just an individual stepping down. It is a loud alarm bell ringing for the entire movement. It highlights critical operational, financial, and strategic gap that needs immediate and serious attention. Unless these fundamental issues of funding, coordination, and professional management are addressed directly by Obi and the movement's leadership, the road to 2027 will be an uphill battle, perhaps an unwinnable one. So, what do you all think about Moyer's resignation? Do you agree with his criticism? What does this mean for future of the Obedience movement? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Obas Trending Gist for more insights and analysis.